Let me set the scene for you. Dubai. Floodlights blazing over center court. A stadium that came in expecting a routine result, and instead got something none of them are going to forget for a very long time. Because tonight, Alexandra Eala, 20 years old, ranked just outside the top 40, walked onto the court against Jasmine Paolini, the defending champion, a top 10 force of nature, a woman who has been to the finals of Wimbledon and Roland Garros, and she took her apart. Completely. Ruthlessly. 6-1, 7-6. Match over. Legacy begun. I know what you're thinking. Another upset recap. But stay with me. Because this one is different. This one has layers. Let's start with what everyone felt before a single ball was struck. The crowd. Dubai, on paper, is neutral ground. No home favorite, no national anthem moment. But someone forgot to tell the Filipino community living across the UAE, because they showed up in numbers that turned that arena into something that felt closer to Manila. Flags everywhere. Noise that didn't stop. A collective energy that was almost physical. In sport, we throw around the phrase home court advantage, like it only applies when you're playing in your own country. But atmosphere doesn't need a passport. And tonight, Eala had an army behind her, and Paolini, for the first time in a long time, probably felt alone on a tennis court. Now about Paolini. Let's be clear about who Eala was playing, because the magnitude of this only lands if you respect the opponent. Jasmine Paolini is not just good. She's relentless. Standing at 5 feet 4 inches, she runs down balls that taller players abandon, she generates heavy topspin off both sides, and she has the fighting instinct of someone who has been tested at every major and come out the other side sharper. She came into this tournament with points to defend and the quiet confidence of someone who knows these courts well. Dubai hard courts suit her. She takes the ball early, she dictates, she grinds you down. The script practically wrote itself. Paolini wins comfortably, teaches the young qualifier a lesson, moves into the round of 16. Eala hadn't read it. The first set was a statement. 6-1, done in barely half an hour. And before you assume Paolini was off, she wasn't. She was playing her standard game. The problem was Eala was playing at a level we've seen from her only in glimpses. That lefty forehand, whipping cross-court with laser accuracy. Those returns, not floated back passively, but driven deep down the middle, taking away the angles Paolini thrives on. The serve numbers tell you everything. 67% of first serves in. 86% of points won behind them. That's not a stat you normally see from Eala. Her serve has been a vulnerability. Tonight it was a weapon. The tactical blueprint was clear. Hold serve easily, pin Paolini back with heavy central balls, wait for the short reply, and unleash. She executed it with a maturity that had absolutely no business existing in a 20-year-old playing a top 10 player. But this is where the story gets good. Because no champion just absorbs a set like that and keeps sleepwalking. The second set arrived and Paolini arrived with it. Adjusted. Lifted the ball higher, pushed Eala further behind the baseline, brought her intensity up several notches. She broke. She took a lead. And for a moment, just a moment, you could feel the crowd tighten. That instinctive dread. Is this the part where it all slips away? But Eala broke straight back. What followed was a seesaw of tension that had nothing to do with pretty tennis and everything to do with two competitors refusing to yield. Eala went up 5-3. She had a chance to serve for the match. 3 match points on Paolini's serve. In that moment, serving at a top 10 player who won't blink, who has been in Grand Slam finals, who knows exactly how to survive, Paolini saved them all. Hit winners. Didn't wait for errors. Then Eala stepped up at 5-4 to close it out herself. The crowd was deafening. And the nerves showed, not completely, but enough. A tight arm, a couple of errors, and Paolini broke. 5-all. Momentum shifted like a physical thing, and it was entirely with the Italian. Then a hold for 6-5. And suddenly Eala was serving to stay in the set, facing 2 set points. If this goes to a third set, Paolini's fitness, her experience, her tactical nous, Eala is probably done. She saved them both. Went for her shots. Held for 6-all. The tiebreak. I'm not going to oversell this, so I'll just say what I saw. This was some of the cleanest, most brutally competitive tennis played on the WTA Tour this year. 8 of the first 8 points were winners. Nobody giving anything. For all. 5-all. A shootout. Then at 5-all, Paolini leaves a ball just slightly short. Eala steps in. No hesitation, she rips the forehand cross-court and earns a match point. Her 5th of the night. She takes a breath. Looks at the crowd for just a second. Sirs. The rally goes deep. Paolini tries to pin her backhand corner. Eala absorbs, redirects down the line. Paolini scrambles, throws up a defensive lob. Eala lets it bounce. Steps in. Forehand, open court. The reaction was immediate and total. Eala dropped her racket, hands covering her face, that look of absolute disbelief, the kind that melts almost instantly into something that isn't quite joy, isn't quite relief, but sits somewhere between the two where you start crying before you even know you're doing it. The camera swept the crowd. People jumping. Strangers embracing. Flags being waved like something far bigger than a tennis match had just happened. Because, honestly, for a lot of people in that stadium, it had. In her post-match interview, Eala said she kept telling herself to stay composed. And then she mentioned something that stuck with me. She said during a changeover she thought about how many people in those stands were praying for her. That kind of weight, that kind of responsibility. It can crush you. Tonight, it carried her. Let's talk about what this means practically, because beyond the drama there are real consequences. The ranking points from beating a top 10 player at a WTA 1000 are substantial. Eala has been knocking on the top 40 door. This kicks it off the hinges. It means seedings at majors. It means she stops walking into first-round landmines against top seeds. Her 2026 trajectory just changed overnight. And more than the points, this is her 2nd win against elite opposition. Miami last year had people intrigued. Tonight confirmed it. Eala is not a one-off story. She is a legitimate threat. The locker room now knows it. For Paolini it stings. Defending champion out in the round of 32, points dropping off the ranking immediately. But credit where it's due, she forced Eala to earn every single point of it. This wasn't a walkover. This was war, and the better player on the night won. Eala next faces Sarana versus Circe, a completely different challenge. Flat, heavy hitting, far less time on the ball. She'll need to adjust. But confidence at this level is its own kind of advantage, and right now, hers is at a ceiling she hasn't touched before. Here's what I keep coming back to though. We watch sport for moments that feel genuinely unscripted. Moments where the expected outcome dissolves and something real emerges in its place. Tonight was that. A 20-year-old from the Philippines in the UAE, carrying the weight of an entire nation's tennis dreams, holding her nerve in a tiebreak against one of the best players in the world, and winning. Alexandra Eala didn't just beat Jasmine Paolini tonight. She announced herself. She told everyone paying attention exactly who she is and exactly where she's going. The defending champion is out. The tournament just got wide open. And somewhere in Dubai, a stadium full of people who came out on a Tuesday night to cheer for one of their own are going home having witnessed something they'll be talking about for years. We'll be with Eala every step of the way from here. Don't blink.